Professor Uju Anya, who is under fire for wishing the late Queen Elizabeth II excruciating death before the longest serving monarch in British history died, has explained why she made the remarks. Anya, on hearing the news of the deteriorating health of the Queen last Thursday before her eventual death, made a controversial tweet which the managing of the microblogging app later deleted, saying it violated its rules. I heard the chief monarch, according to what he said, of a thieving, raping, genocidal empire is finally dying. May our pain be excruciating, Anya had tweeted. However, despite the deletion of the tweet by Twitter, it continued to generate heated debate, with many tweets condemning her outburst while many others defending her. While some, including Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, criticized her for her tweet, many, especially citizens of various African countries and the Irish, stood with her. Reacting on Aya's tweet, Jeff Bezos wrote, "This is someone supposedly working to make the world better. I don't think so. Wow." But the Carnegie Mellon University professor, who quickly defended her tweet, responded to Bezos, writing, Otoro Bagbuegi, okay, dysentery kill you, okay? May everyone you and your merciless greed have harmed in this world remember you as fondly as I remember my colonizers. Uju, in an interview with the court published on Saturday, accused Queen Elizabeth II of sponsoring the genocide that led to the displacement of her family in southeast Nigeria. She revealed that half of her family members were killed with weapons given to the Nigerian army by the late British government, with the support of the late monarch during the Biafra War, 1967 to 1970. She said, "This wasn't just something I just read about. I was born to colonial subjects on both sides of the family. One parent from Trinidad, where the British enslaved people, and one parent from Nigeria. They met in England at university and moved back to Nigeria after independence in 1960. My parents were survivors of this genocide. My three siblings, two of them under the age of 10 at the time, were survivors. My mother was pregnant with my brother, who was born during that time. He was a war baby. This was the legacy I was born into in 1976. I spent the first 10 years of my life living in Nigeria, and there was always this specter of who was lost. My earliest memories were from living in a room-torn area, and rebuilding still hasn't finished even today. Half of my family was slaughtered with guns and bombs that this queen sent to kill us. Queen Elizabeth was a representative of the cult of white womanhood. There's this notion that she was the little old lady grandma type with a little hat and her horses and little dogs and everything, as if she inhabited with place or this space of the imaginary, this public image, as someone who didn't even have a hand in the bloodshed of her crown. How did she have that crown? Even the crowns she wears are looted, plundered from the lands they exploited and extracted from. The entire treasury is a legacy of thievery that was achieved by enslavement, and it didn't even stop her independence, she added. When asked how the backlash over the tweet affected her, she continued, "I'm trying to do okay. I haven't even been on Twitter because I'm locked out, but the hate is coming into my email box. People are saying, oh, I don't know what you are on about because the Queen oversaw the independence of Nigeria and Trinidad. That is meaningless. They were still Commonwealth nations. They have independence in a figurehead way, while Britain installed puppet leaders that bowed to the Queen. Even the name Nigeria is from the British. They created this function of a country by just arbitrarily drawing lines around territories and saying, okay, this belongs to this British. This is what we are going to call it." And joining independent nations who had nothing to do with each other, didn't even speak each other's language, and also electing certain groups they favor to be the rulers. This is the history of the monarchy, and the queen was the head of the monarchy. Whether she was involved in day-to-day decisions or not, she existed because of those decisions. She never once opened her mouth to say sorry for the role of her government in the slaughter of 3 million civilians. If you have not experienced something, you just better keep quiet. You can say, oh, forget, just move on. Really? And that is the problem we are still suffering. You can imagine El-Rufai coming out to say that, oh, he will be ever grateful and indebted to the British for making his own region having upper hand. We know what is happening. Like I've always said, the foundation is already faulty. Most of the time you see politicians, they can still do something, but most of the time you see the politicians trying to, from the south, they want to join. If they can't beat them, they want to join. So a lot of things have really, they've destroyed a lot of things from the beginning. So some people just want to go there. Let me just go and do my own. Let me have my own national cake. No baby, kill Jesus. No baby, go die for Nigeria. Let me just do what I need to do. And that's why you see that a lot of people are just doing that. It's just unfortunate. So if you don't have experience of what she has gone through, I don't think you know what she's talking about. You don't know what she's talking about at all. Let me see my shoe. This is really, really, really deep. Well, in a war, do you expect her to send biscuits? The civil war was totally avoidable. Why not blame your leaders who led your tribe into a useless war? Okay, now they will come for you now. Senseless post. It is because of the truth that Nigerian government stops history in school curriculum. People like you rejoice when others are in pain. Making fun with the pain and anguish of others is highly insensitive and callous. Yes, very apt response. They blame everybody for their woes and exonerated their leaders who dragged them into the war. I'm sure you really don't even know much about the war history and history of the so-called Nigeria. She was the one who made sure the war started, and she supported Nigeria because of the money she borrowed from Biafra and don't ever want to pay back. Why has it been so difficult to let Biafra be since she is also one doing all, and she can just to make sure that countries Biafra never stand. Okay. I have read few books written by both sides about the war. It was avoidable. Just an ego problem between the two leaders at that time. I listened to both Gowon and Ojukwu interview dated back. I concluded that war is continuation of political tussle that can't even be settled in boardroom. Typical example of Ukraine and Russia war. Okay, we'll see. Please read history and know what led to the war. Some people just say, yeah, they talk and they talk, and some people just lie and lie and lie, concoct a lot of things together, and they will dish it out, and some people carry it and they don't even know. Wow, okay, they will tell you because we don't want bitterness, we don't want anger to continue to fester, but it's not the issue. Now, you see, nobody even knew that somebody like this who has not even been talking about IPOB or Biafra, but a lot of people deep down in their mind, they are not